Hello YouTube, welcome back. I know it has been a long time in the fucking making, but we are here to talk about Dexter, Original Sin. We have the third episode. I know we're only 3 episodes in. That's kind of fucked because I have to go on vacation in the next week. We're here with the third episode, which actually premiered the same day the second episode premiered. So again, go watch that video to kind of get my review. Sorry if my computer's a little loud. It can't really handle a bunch of windows being open. I've been editing shit all day. I'm about to record another thing after this. Things really got going with a particularly gruesome kill, more revelations about Harry Morgan's past, a potential love interest for socially awkward Dexter, and further exploration of Deborah's teenage angst. I think this one, obviously we have the Miami Metro stuff. There's a huge character that gets fucking introduced, and again, there's a fly always flying around the studio. What is a GZTV video without me having green aura with fucking flies? You get a huge character getting introduced in this episode. We'll get to that in a second, but really this is focusing on the family dynamics and getting through some of these guys' histories, how things kind of started to come together. I'm not gonna lie, the whole love interest thing is forced and very fucking weird, like the way they saw it originate in this one. I just don't know. My hair is so fucked. There were a lot of things to love about this particular episode, and again, a lot of promise for the future of the season. Again, I still think they are kind of laying the baseline. I still think they're not really getting into anything crazy right now. It's just baseline stuff, just introducing things. Here's this. It's gonna play in eventually. You just gotta kind of wait. Original Sin's pilot has become a massive ratings hit at the time here, so there's a chance this show could be renewed sooner rather than later. We could get another season of this. Now, I'm not really sure yet how this ended, but we could see another season of Dexter, and I would not mind that at all. Before Resurrections, who knows? This episode was directed by Monica Raymond and written by Sephora Fadari. It's called Miami Vice, and obviously it's called Miami Vice for a reason. We will get to that in a second. It saw Dexter embark on a second kill, a loan shark called Tony Ferrer, who had been evading justice for years. Obviously a loan shark, he's a guy that gives out loans to people, and if they don't pay him back, he just kills them and steals all their shit. That's basically what a loan shark is. The forensics intern is very much still perfecting his dark passenger, trying to kind of find a way of suppressing it, finding an outlet to use it, all these sorts of things. He kind of follows Harry's strict code, and Harry is he's enforcing the law here. The episode also saw the introduction of another fan favorite legacy character, which is fucking awesome. I love, and I think it does kind of suck that they waited 3 fucking episodes to introduce her, but it was still awesome. It's still pretty epic, and I think Kristen Milian plays her character well. Again, we will get to that in a second, though. And the circumstances surrounding this special appearance were very interesting, adding an extra layer of context to the original Dexter series. Just how she got there. And it makes sense now. Again, that's kind of the purpose of a prequel in most cases. Like, oh, this is making sense now. So we're going to kind of get into it, have a giant conversation, and that'll be the video. Man, another solid episode here where a legacy character makes a joyous appearance. I think the main event here is this legacy character making an introduction. After a brilliant introduction to the world of Miami Metro, just like kind of getting into the office in the first place in the previous episode, this episode sees the actual introduction of Maria Laguerta into the Dexter prequel series, and this is fucking awesome. And again, just kind of getting into the casting and how they did it. It was obviously a very difficult thing to tackle, trying to perfectly play this out. Man, Kristen Milian as freaking Maria Laguerta plays her very well so far, from what I'm seeing. It was a smart move to save the character for this episode, I suppose. You can kind of see that. I'm obviously not really a fan of it at first. Give her kind of a special entrance of her own. I think that's kind of why they staved it off, because other things were going on, and they can't just squeeze this in there and just, oh, by the way, this is Maria Laguerta. She's one of the most important characters of at least the first couple of seasons of Dexter, the original series, so why not give her a special entrance? She immediately gets stuck into her new job and causes friction with Aaron Spencer. Patrick Dempsey, Captain Spencer, you guys know him. However, she makes an ally in Harry Morgan, and these scenes work particularly well as they show a softer side to Dexter's adoptive father. The 70s flashbacks featuring the sting operation and the development of Harry's relationship with Laura Moser are very well done, and they don't distract from the main story, and if anything, they kind of add to it, and they kind of complement it, and they kind of show how kind of good of a person Harry Morgan is, The episode is a stark reminder to the audience that Dexter is very much not the finished article yet, but that makes him all the more interesting to watch as he's significantly different to the original series and is refreshing. Again, some things we kind of talked about, in the first couple of reviews for this show is, yeah, they gotta pay homage, and yeah, they kind of have to have the mannerisms of the characters, they gotta cast them well, and that was a huge fucking feat that they've been crushing so far. But also just add your own flavor, add the prequel flavor, that's something that a lot of franchises struggle to do. They kind of just take the original, boom, plop it here, this is how this goes, whether you like it or not. We're not even going to add to it. There's something happening in the writer's room. They're not just watching the original show and being like, okay, this is how this happened logically. So that's really cool. Seeing a young Dexter on the prowl is very entertaining, especially when he is caught in the act by a very unexpected and talkative creature. There's also a nice American Psycho Easter egg, well, yeah, you guys know that, which will delight fans, and a funny exchange with Masuka, who provides Dexter with a fake ID for a price, of course. There's a much darker side to Dexter's lab geek colleague, and Original Sin is definitely teasing it for a future storyline. Like, Vince Masuka, I think more than the original series, is going to get involved here, and I'm very happy about that, seriously. So, it's classic Dexter. It works extremely well. Again, another pretty successful episode here. I think they did a bang-up job with it. You know, the first episode, the pilot, dealt with Dexter's first kill, which was essential as a starting point for his origin story. I mean, they kind of had to do that. And I think, like, in terms of sequency and how they're kind of taking this on, I think they're doing a great job at just ordering everything, making sure things get focused on. And with 7 episodes left, we're getting a lot here. There's a lot. You know, it does seem like there's a lot crammed in the episodes, but again, it's very balanced. I very much appreciate that about it. It followed that episode up, you know, the first episode up with a full introduction to the Miami Metro regulars, and this episode felt like classic Dexter, and that is a good thing. Now that everything is kind of established, now that you're kind of getting everything out of the way and laying the groundwork, now it's like, okay, this is Dexter. This is what he does. He finds people that do criminal acts, and they fucking ruin other people's lives, and he kills them, and he has to find the evidence to kill the people. Sorry if my hair looks like shit. He finds the evidence, he finds the justification to kill them, and then he goes and takes action. And man, just combining that again with the Maria Laguerta introduction was awesome, and it's such a dope balance. Again, they don't focus too much on one thing at once. I'm not gonna say the show's all over and like ADHD-esque. Man, I think they're doing good here. Dexter's second kill was audacious, clumsy, and epic. The build-up was great, and the eventual kill felt different while throwing in a nice dollop of familiarity. Dexter keeps making mistakes, and this adds to the tension. This adds to the drama of, like, will he get caught type of thing. And that's awesome. That's like the chase. That's the hunger you kind of get with the original show, and that's what they kind of pay homage to. Dexter's love interest, Sophia, I guess we can kind of get to that real quick. I don't really feel like talking about it that much, but his love interest, Sophia, played an important part in this episode, and Dexter had to get himself out of trouble due to his need for trophies, which was a nice little precursor to the inevitable introduction of the blood slides. The blood slides. It's a trophy, but it's part of my job at the same time. Michael C. Hall's narration is full of darkly humorous one-liners reminiscent of the earlier season, and it works as he recaps the events of his second kill. The fan service is also kept to a minimum in this episode. Again, fan service, you know, just like paying too much homage to the original, and that's what a lot of shows make the mistake of doing, which that's a good thing, as the overarching plot is coming into focus. You gotta focus on the plot. You gotta focus on getting things out there. We don't have time for Easter eggs, you know, and the creators of the show kind of realized that, and they gave us the product we're getting right now. Overall, Miami Vice is the strongest, I think, of the first 3 episodes. I actually had a lot of fun with this one. Obviously, it was a little more lengthy, so it was like, okay, you know, I don't really like lengthy TV episodes. You guys couldn't even imagine how I sat through the Stranger Things season 4 finales, but if it carries on this way, it's going to be one hell of a season for a fucking prequel. I mean, that's incredible. Seriously. Now, I am pleasantly surprised. I mean, just kind of getting into a review real quick before I get out of here, I am pleasantly surprised. I have honestly not seen a lot of people talk about this prequel so far. You know, it's been out since like December and January, but holy shit, they're crushing this. They're doing really good, and the casting is actually good. I keep bringing that up. I keep putting emphasis on it because that's the most important fucking part here, is how are they going to cast the characters? And they're doing amazing with this. This is great. This is great television. Obviously, it's not even going to come close to the original series, because I honestly think the original series is one of the greatest television shows of all time. But man, they're doing awesome. All the characters are going to come into play, and you just want to keep watching more. Now, obviously, you know, kind of the elephant in the room is, hey, I'm not really giving you guys that many of these videos, but I have work. You know, I'm trying to do the stuff for Summer Smash and prepare for that, because that's going to be a big moment for the channel. I feel like I'm going to try to connect with some people there. That'll be a whole lot of fun, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. In terms of the love interest thing, yeah, I'm going to have to get used to it, because it was very awkward. It was very kind of forced upon us. I think that's the only kind of dull moment with the episode. But other than that, yeah, Maria Laguerta and Harry kind of forming a relationship. The flashbacks from the 70s continuing to kind of partake and move on forward so we can finally figure out what happened between Laura and Harry and how she died and stuff. It's a lot of curiosity, it's a lot of promise, it's a lot of, I wouldn't say blue balling and cliffhanging, but they do that a lot more than a lot of prequels, and I fucking love it. So with that being said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it has been your boy GZTV. Just a fantastic episode of television. again, I should have been around when it first came out. I don't know why I was sleeping on this for so long, but man, I've been having a blast. Go check out the shorts, go check out the Instagram, check out the socials. We'll leave them right here for the rest of the video. Yeah, guys, I'm out. Just go check them out. We've been posting all sorts of stuff. You guys actually gave me 12,000 views in a day on one of my shorts promoting my videos, so that's incredible. I'm out.